Public, Matthews takes the helm of the highly dysfunctional organization that has been battling for years to effectively deliver on its mandate. Mariska Botha has that report.
Zolani Matthews takes the reins at a time when public confidence in PRASA is at
All right, you seem to have lost that clip, but for an extended conversation on the newly appointed PRASA Group CEO, Zolani Matthews, we're joined via Zoom by Sandile Swana, who's a political analyst. A very good morning to you, Mr. Swana. Mr. Zolani Matthews, now the new Group CEO of PRASA. The Transport Minister saying this is to strengthen governance. I think it's been an ongoing public conversation about the shenanigans at PRASA. Are we to have confidence in this new appointment?
Good morning to you, Desiree, and to your viewers. At this point in time, Desiree, this must be taken on faith, really, because so many promises for the past 12 years have been made. But every time an independent report is produced, whether by the Auditor General or any other review body concerning PRASA, it has been devastating to the National Treasury, devastating to the people who are supposed to use the transportation service. But indeed, with the coming of Matthews, let us hope that something good will come out of it. Let us, the chairperson, good governance starts with the chairperson and the board itself, and then the CEO follows that lead. Parliament has said that Leonard Ramatakalani is a very good person in terms of his ethics and moral and trustworthiness as chairman of PRASA. But we must all remember that the CEO and the chairman are both trusted cadres of the African National Congress.
Is that problematic or is it a good thing?
We cannot help it, but we must understand that once trusted cadres are deployed into an institution in the manner that they've been deployed now in PRASA, yes, there might be a genuine intention to retrieve the disgraceful conduct of the past 12 years. We have no reason to doubt that they want to redeem themselves. But we must also know why trusted cadres are deployed. They are also deployed to make sure that anything that would implicate the ANC itself too much is properly handled in favor of the African National Congress.
So it's really, there's really a lot to fix within PRASA. What do you think are the priorities for this new Group CEO going in?
The new CEO going in, number one, you will remember that this is the organization where we saw that the chief engineer has no capacity before the so-called Dr. Tim Cool. So one of the issues, we cannot run away from the fact that these are technical businesses. Eskom is a technical business. PRASA is a technical business. So you do need people in the technical section of the business who are going to make sure that you have the correct stock of trains, you have the correct spare parts in stock, you have the trains properly maintained, the rail itself, the railroad properly maintained. That is an area that needs attention. That is an area also where a lot of irregularity, a lot of incompetence, and generally a lot of corruption has been happening. So that area of the technical competence of PRASA has got to enjoy top priority. As you control that, the financial controls will start to follow and fall in line. So financial control is another issue, whereby things that don't need to be paid for are not paid for. But above all, the services that are missing, I think they are short about 43 trains in the Western Cape alone, and I'm not even sure whether that is the complete number. In places like Soweto, which used to rely on rail, when you look at the statistics, rail, which mainly PRASA, does not have much business. All the business is going to the taxis. As townships expand, PRASA has not been expanding with the township and providing a reliable service. The last point of which Matthews is praised for is security. The security of persons who use, the passengers who use the trains, needs to be improved substantially. The security of the stations, the railroads, the trains themselves needs to be improved substantially so that, like other countries that use trains, whether it's at 3 a.m. in the morning or at 1 p.m. during the day, you can use the train safely and with confidence. So those are some of the issues really that Matthews has got to get into and make sure that he has got the correct people who understand transport economics, transport engineering, transport management, and so on. Passenger rail transport management specifically in this case.
So Mr. Matthews holds a master's degree in public administration from Harvard University, as well as an undergraduate degree from the University of Warwick. So coming in, one assumes a level of competency. But what level of independence can we assume he will get in terms of government meddling?
Let me just touch first on the point of qualifications. Let me alert you to the fact that universities such as UJ, University of Johannesburg, UNISA, University of Pretoria, offer postgraduate courses in transport, all forms of transport, including rail transport, passenger transport. And in South Africa, there are people who have qualifications in transport from those universities, postgraduate qualifications. So this is an area of work that you can go to university to study quite specifically. And that is not what is being discussed at the moment by the government and by the so-called appointees to this party. A person becomes an expert in transport without even studying it. So let's move on then to the issue of possible interference. The interference, the people, when you look at the board of PRASA and you look now at this appointment of the CEO, by and large, the people who are on that board, if you know them, you would know that in many ways, there would be more of the trusted cadres. Even this one, this CEO, is plucked out of a newly elected position of councillor at ICASA and so on, whereby other trusted cadres are normally planted there. So the issue of interference is a given. Whichever way you call it, whether it's controlled by the African National Congress, political control, is going to be there. The fact that they've appointed a politician to be at the top of the board is a clear sign that you have a politician on top of the board who reports to another politician who's the minister.
Unfortunately, we have time constraints and are going to have to cut our conversation, but thank you so much for your time. Let's take you to this story live now.